Late night bites with friends? Already hard to beat. That first too hot bite of fries you couldn't wait for, followed by ice cold Pepsi. Now that hits different. Suddenly, the energy kicks back in, the night goes longer, and the laughs don't stop. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
I'm not giving up.
I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay.
No, stop!
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
The best summer memories are made outside, and LL Bean has the clothing and gear you need to make these memories. Their effortless styles are created for summer spent outside with family and friends. Like hand-sewn boat shoes, coastal cotton sweaters, rugged polos, and, of course, the iconic Boatin' Tote, which has been made right here in Maine since 1944. LL Bean. Be an outsider. Visit llbean.com to learn more.
The following contains descriptions of physical violence, sexual violence, and graphic descriptions of autopsies.
Hey listeners, welcome to episode 93 of TGIC Podcast. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Izzy.
So today we are going to be discussing the murder of the Setagaya family in Japan. This is one of the most baffling cases I think we've ever researched, at least for me it was. Yeah, so just prepare yourselves, I guess. Let's get started with some background. So in December of 2000, the Miyazawa family lived in Kamiso-Shigaya, the Kamiso-Shigaya neighborhood of Setagaya, a suburb of Tokyo. 4 people lived in their household. There was Mikio Miyazawa, who was 44 years old at the time, and he worked in corporate advertising. He enjoyed animation, puppetry, and theater. He was married to Yasuko Miyazawa, who was 41 years old at the time. She ran a cram school at their home, and for those of you who don't know, because I didn't know, a cram school is essentially like private tutoring, like a private tutoring school. It's offered completely private outside of school hours. Usually it's at an accelerated pace or focuses on like test prep, so like kind of like SAT tutoring and stuff. But yeah, that's what she did full time, was she ran that out of their home. The couple had 2 kids. Nina was 8 years old at the time, and she was in the 2nd grade. She liked ballet and playing piano. And then their other child, his name was Ray. He was 6 years old at the time, and he was in kindergarten. The family was very close and loving. According to some reports, Ray had some sort of mental or intellectual disability, which the family responded to with a lot of love and support. Their house was located in kind of like an unusually isolated location in their neighborhood. That's what a lot of reports called it, was unusually isolated. It was next to the Metropol. I don't know why I couldn't say that word for a second. It was next to the Metropolitan Soshigaya Park on one side and the Senkawa River on the other. At the time, there were few people still living in the neighborhood because of the park's planned expansion. The Miyazawas were one of the 4 families that were actually still living in the neighborhood. And one of their neighbors that was still living there was actually Yusuko's mother, so the kid's grandmother, Haruko.
This makes me so sad. Like, just
I
hearing,
know.
like, the background and then knowing what comes next is just, like, actually horrific. I feel like this is the most, like, sick and twisted thing that we've looked into in a while.
I agree.
Like, probably since, I'm trying to think of something that's, like, comparable. Like, I mean, what was I can't remember the names in the way the cookie crumbled that episode that we did. That was, like,
Yeah.
so fucked.
I also think the
Yeah.
Ketty Cabin murder is also I mean, similar
Oh, yeah.
concept to this, where it was multiple homicides in one household.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these are always
Yeah,
kind of
and
difficult to
brutal.
cover. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get into the timeline a little bit. So December 30th of 2000, it was the early evening. The family had spent the day out together shopping, and when they returned home, they made dinner and ate together. After dinner, Yasuko called her mother, Haruko, and they spoke for a little bit. Nina went over to her grandmother's house to watch TV and came back home around 9:30 p.m. At 10:38 p.m., this is the last known activity of the family. At this time, Mikio logged into his password-protected business email account on the family computer, and after this, the police are only able to construct a very rough timeline of what they suspect occurred. Later that night, police suspect that the killer broke into the home shortly after Mikio logged into his email. They think that the killer broke into and entered through the second-story bedroom window of Ray, the family's 6-year-old son, and then proceeded to strangle him to death while he was sleeping. Mikio was likely the second person that the killer attacked. He probably heard the commotion upstairs and went to check in on his son. He was found the following day, slumped at the bottom of the staircase near the front door. He had multiple stab wounds, which were determined to be from a sashimi knife that the killer had actually brought with him. Part of the knife had actually broken off into Mikio's skull, which just shows like how
That's
vicious this
crazy.
murder
Yeah.
was.
I don't know if I've read
Mhm.
that in a case like a stabbing case before, where like part of the knife broke off into the skull. Like that is like really
Yeah.
intense
I think
overkill.
yeah, like I think I've definitely listened to some podcasts or read some articles about murders where the knife did break off into the victim,
Mm-hmm.
but I just like the amount of force necessary
Yeah,
for a knife to
exactly.
break off. Oh my God, it's like I can't even fathom.
I
Um,
know.
so the killer then proceeded to kill Yasuko and Nina with the knife that the killer had brought to the home. But once that knife had become unusable, probably kept breaking or whatever, the killer went to the kitchen and got a kitchen knife from the family, which was Sentoku brand, and around and like finished, I guess, murdering Yusuko and Ina. Around 1:18 to 1:23 a.m., the killer used the family's computer to browse the internet, and they opened multiple tabs. Um, I apparently like they weren't searching up anything specific. It was just like opening like bookmarked tabs. Did you see
That's
that
so
too?
weird. Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like they were looking anything up, right?
Yeah, I think that's why
I don't know. I find
I
it
think a lot of
bizarre.
other sources were speculating too that maybe it was like some sort of like accident, like you kind of like bumped into the computer and opened some bookmark
Hmm.
tabs. But because if that seems less weird to me than like, he's like sitting down and just like seeing what the family had bookmarked.
But we'll talk about later how like kind of bizarre this dude is. So
Yeah, that's
I
true.
wouldn't put it past you.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So again, very rough timeline, but for around 2 to 10 hours, the killer stayed in the house. He ate 4 cups of the family's ice cream that they had in their freezer, ate
Fatty.
melon from the fridge, and drank 4 cups of barley tea.
He
Like,
ate a whole
what the
melon?
hell?
I think I missed that.
Yes.
I knew about the ice cream. I knew about all the tea. I was like, Loki, that's just kind of crazy. That's a lot. But a whole melon.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was a whole melon, but it was definitely like maybe they had cut it up earlier and it was in the
Yeah.
fridge, or like I don't know. But just like what the fuck? Then apparently he used the bathroom upstairs, took a big shit, and didn't flush the toilet.
You know what's funny? I mean, not that there's necessarily anything funny, but I heard a lot of, when I listened, I think it was the Crime Junkie episode on this case and some other like sources, like articles I was reading, a lot of people were saying like, oh my god, like that is so weird, that is so gross, like you never see that happen, blah blah blah. Low-key, it's actually common for a killer to poop in the toilet and not flush. Like it's happened. I mean, I know a specific case where it happened, like the murder of Meredith Kircher, like Amanda Knox's roommate, when she, like whoever broke in and killed her, shit in the toilet and didn't flush. Like I think that was one of the first things
Or
that
just like all
The perfect lunch combo. That first bite of your favorite sub, followed by ice-cold Pepsi. Add a couple of friends, and now that's next level. Suddenly, the laughs get louder, the stories keep flowing, and the food tastes better. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
I'm not giving up.
I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay.
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
Like, it's like a thing they do. It's kind of like, I imagine it's like a marking territory type situation. Like you know how like dogs pee on trees on walks? Like,
yeah, so serial killers just shit in the toilet and don't flush.
yeah, which is obviously disgusting. Which again, not surprising, I guess, you know, for killers. But
yeah,
I was surprised at the amount of like source material saying, "Oh, that's so surprising. That's so gross. Like we've never heard that before." Like I feel like that does actually come up a lot.
Yeah, and I mean the motherfucker ate a bunch of food there. Like if he was hanging around, I'm not.
Well, he also drank 4 cups of barley tea. Like no wonder he had to shit.
Yeah. Like what?
But seriously,
anyways.
like I think it actually like says a lot about the killer that he did that, because that's not like this really uncommon thing. It's like it is a thing that, you know, other killers have done. Like
it's like calculated.
It's like marking your territory, asserting like some sort of dominance. Like
interesting.
Like there's a lot of psychological backing to that, I think. Anyway, that was my 2 cents on the duty.
On the duty. He also used the family's first aid kit to treat his injured hand, which he had hurt like during the stabbing, which I mean makes sense. Like, isn't it really common for like during stabbing murders that the killer actually cuts himself because like their hand gets like covered in blood and it's just messy and whatever.
Yeah.
So he also I thought this was kind of weird. I don't know if you're gonna think this is weird. But he used, like, a pad, like a sanitary pad.
Yeah.
To clean up the blood on his hand, and then he, like, threw it away. But I'm like, why not just use, like, a towel or napkins or... I don't know.
I mean...
Maybe because it's more absorbent?
Yeah, he did use something that's meant to absorb blood, so... Like, that kind of makes sense. I'm low-key, like, just... He left, like, a shocking amount of evidence behind, which I think is insane. Like...
A staggering amount of evidence. We haven't even gotten into all of it yet.
Literally, he ate food, so, like, there's probably, like, saliva somewhere, at least. He like
Yeah.
bled and used a pad to clean it up and then threw it away in the family trash can. He took a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's
His
evidence
fingerprints were everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah. Um, and he also literally left like his bloody clothes and personal belongings in the home, which he then like organized and he got redressed. I'm not sure if he wore clothes that he found in the house or if he brought a different set of clothes,
Yeah.
but he literally left the clothes like in the living room and then left before dawn, which is insane.
Did he
The
not
blood
take a
left.
shower?
He might have. I didn't
I don't
write that
no,
down.
I'm like actually I'm just judging on the things he did. I'm like if you're gonna like take a shit and change your clothes, like at least throw in a shower. I don't know, like
Dress your wounds. Maybe he
yeah.
did.
Like I don't know if I read that he took a shower though. That's what I'm like I'm kind of doubting
I
like
don't think I did either. Ugh. I
like
don't
at
know.
that point take a fucking shower.
Yeah, if you're gonna do the whole shebang, like really do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So the blood left at the scene was determined to be type A, and the further like analysis led the researchers to believe that the suspect is male with East Asian paternal DNA and Southern European / Mediterranean maternal DNA. So 10:40 a.m. Haruko, who lived on the street, went to check in on obviously like the family after she had called them multiple times and it went unanswered. Like I'm sure she was probably just like, oh, I want to see them. Like I'll just walk down the street instead of like keeping calling them. Like maybe
Yeah.
something's going on. So she rang the doorbell, no response. And at the time, she said that she used her key to open the front door. But as time has passed, like she's kind of like she doesn't remember if she actually did use her key or if it was just unlocked.
Yeah.
But if they think that the guy came through the window, I guess it would make sense that it was locked.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And when she entered the home, she found Yasuko at the bottom of the stairs and the rest of the family was upstairs. And another thing that I feel like is important to mention, in the shock of like finding the family and just walking through the house, she accidentally bumped the computer mouse and woke up the monitor at this time around like 10:45. And initially the police thought that the killer was still there at 10 a.m., but then they realized that she had just done it on accident when she entered the home. Yeah, so just like a little note. But that also means that you're right, maybe it was like an accident that he like opened the computer or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, or he was genuinely just on there creeping on their bookmark tabs. Like, I don't know. Hi, Ruth. Sorry,
I
my
mean, he
cat
was in
came
the
to
house for
visit.
like 10 hours.
Wait,
Wait, let me see.
here she is. Ruth, it's your pet birthday
She's
view.
so perfect.
She
And
does
she's
not like the camera.
spooky.
That's my
Aw,
cat.
she's a little bit camera shy.
Yeah, a little bit camera shy. She came in here. She like actually pushed my door open. It was most of the way closed.
Aww. So cute. So continuing on. Now onto like the investigation a little bit. So the killer on like a note on some of the clothing that he left. So a gray and purple shirt that looked like a baseball shirt. So like, you know how it's like a white like chest and back and then like purple sleeves.
Yeah.
Police determined that actually only 130 of these shirts were ever made and distributed, which is insane. But the police could only find 12 of the buyers, and none of them were like could be linked to the crime.
Yeah.
But also like only 120 shirts or 130 shirts produced is insane.
Mm-hmm.
There were footprints also found at the scene, and they were a Korean brand of shoe, which were in a men's size that's not even made or distributed in Japan. Also, very puzzling thing, the killer left a bag that like you wear on your hip, kind of like a big fanny pack, and the bag had sand in it. The sand was linked to a Japanese skate park and a desert that's in California in the United States.
Like, it was two different kinds of sand, or it was sand that could be found at both of those places?
It was sand that could be found at both of those places.
Oh. Okay, so more than
Yeah.
likely it's from the Japanese park.
Yeah, but we don't know. But also, I only found one source that said that it was also found at the Japanese skate park, but most sources say the thing about California. So I'm not exactly
Yeah, that's weird.
100% sure. Yeah. I also, this is something that they talked about a lot in the Crime Junkie episode, is that they found handkerchiefs and then also on the shirt was like a men's cologne slash like aftershave that
Mm-hmm.
was found on this like clothing. It was a scent that's commonly used in like the skater scene in Japan, and it was also like very popular in the Philippines at the time. But then I looked up the fragrance. It's Drakkar Noir, which I think is really interesting and funny because, like, in the United States, in like the 80s and 90s, Drakkar Noir was what like all the douchebag guys wore. Like,
I'm sorry.
have you
How do
ever?
how do you know that?
Because okay, because my parents all the time like so. How can I like make a comparison? Do you know like Axe body spray? Like when someone like a
Yeah.
dude comes in like reeking of Axe or like Dior Sauvage,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like oh, it's like that very specific type of like douchebaggy guy. Well, Drakkar Noir was that exact like idea, but in the United States, like every time my parents were like, oh, like the dude reeked of cologne, like Drakkar Noir. Like, oh, he probably was wearing like Drakkar Noir, which isn't popular anymore. But like at the
That's so
time, it
funny.
was super popular. It's just like a super strong and like stinky cologne, like the type of like men's cologne that like lingers in the air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
Yeah,
kind that
I don't know.
reeks
I
of
just thought that
douchebag.
the kind that reeks Eau de Douchebag, literally. Um, yeah, Eau de Douchebag. So I thought that that was also like, and what type of freaking killer is wearing Drakkar Noir? I don't know. This guy's just
No.
baffling to me. Um,
If it's
so
ode to
there was
douchebag, maybe a
like
lot are wearing it.
maybe there was a mass investigation leading to fingerprints being taken of thousands of local residents and the fingerprint analysis. There was like 5 million fingerprints that were compared to the ones at the scene, and 1.3 million DNA samples from across Japan that were compared.
Jeez.
So there's like, yeah. And at the peak of the investigation, almost 300,000 officers were involved in this, which is insane to me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But also in the Crime Junkie episode, they were really like, oh, but like kind of too many cooks in the kitchen. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, like too many people who don't have enough information or like depth of knowledge kind of working at the same time. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, so like kind of the last element on our timeline is that on April 9th of 2001, exactly 100 days after the murders, a statue was found near the house. This statue was of Jizo. So also if my pronunciation is bad, I'm sorry. Which is a Buddhist guardian deity. Deity? Deity.
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 We were just talking about deities in my
Police.
class.
Oh, really? What class?
World Civ 1.
Oh,
No, but I
is that
was
your
genuinely
freshman class?
thinking. Yeah, that's my freshman class. I've taken the graduate. But I was literally thinking, I was like, I don't know if I've ever known how to pronounce that word. And then my teacher said it like 10 times today. I was like, I guess that's how you pronounce it.
Deity.
Hmm.
So police, for some reason, they were like, yes, this is connected to the crime, specifically the perpetrator, like someone was showing remorse, whatever. Um, but I honestly don't know. So the number 6 was also like written or carved into the statue, which was the age of Ray, who's the younger
Yeah.
son. Jizo is also seen as a guardian for children, which would make sense in this context since children were killed in this crime.
Yeah.
I don't really know if this is necessarily the killer showing remorse, but I feel like it's probably someone, maybe someone in the community who like brought the sculpture to the house just to be like,
I agree, because I don't think
I don't
there
know.
were no other instances where the killer seemed to be showing remorse. Like, if anything, he was
No.
like
It's
the
the
complete
opposite.
opposite, like hanging around the scene and blah blah
Mhm.
blah. So like, it seems more likely that someone from the community, like, I don't know, maybe someone who was just very impacted by the case, or a neighbor or something. You know what I mean? Like, so
Mhm.
there are always those people that kind of just get like overly attached to like traumatic things that happen in their community. Like, it very well could have been one of those
Yeah.
people.
Exactly. No, I completely agree.
That just seems more
Completely
likely
agree.
based on the like, there was nothing else that like the killer showed remorse with, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it was just honestly the opposite.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna get into some suspects and theories now. So there's basically like three main theories, I think, in this case.
Mhm.
So, and like one of them kind of has a sub theory. So yeah, we'll just get into it. But the first main theory is that it was a burglary gone wrong. Because Yusuko ran the school within their home, she had a lot of cash that was just accessible at the time of the murders and like in the home. She had more than 100,000 yen, which is about 630 US dollars. And oh, sorry, I read that wrong. More than 100,000 yen, which is about worth $630, was taken from the home. But and like the drawers and stuff have been like tossed through. Like, the home looked like somebody had gone through, like, kind of tearing it apart. But there were also a lot of like money and expensive belongings that were left behind. So it seems weird that, you know, if it was a burglary, you would have thought they would have taken more. Like, there was a lot more cash in the house that could have been taken.
Exactly. Yeah, and also like other valuable things. So,
yeah. And then on top of that, the crime just is so violent just for it to be a robbery gone wrong. Like, it's just so incredibly violent. It was a quadruple homicide and everyone was kind of killed like overkill style.
violently,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. Like, that just doesn't seem like a burglary gone wrong. Also, he broke in through the second story window that went into like the youngest kid's room and strangled him. Like, I don't think
That's
you need to do all
calculated.
that.
Like, that's...
Yeah, I don't think you need to do all that if you're just planning on like stealing from the home. You know what I mean?
And also stealing $600. Like, yeah, I just feel like that doesn't make much
You know
sense.
what seems so weird to me too is the fact that he strangled Ray, even though we know that he brought that knife with him.
The perfect lunch combo. That first bite of your favorite sub, followed by ice-cold Pepsi. Add a couple of friends, and now that's next level. Suddenly, the laughs get louder, the stories keep flowing, and the food tastes better. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
I'm not giving up.
I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either gonna be okay
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
Yeah, it almost makes me think, okay, this might be kind of really going off the rails here. So stop me if it is. What if we're going to kind of get into other theories later, which would explain how the killer was more calculated and like trained almost in the approach. But since everyone else was downstairs at the time of the murders, maybe he went into the youngest son's room first and strangled him so it'd make a lot of noise to almost draw people up towards him.
Yeah, that's
You know what
possible.
I mean?
Yeah.
And also, like, if the little...
In that case,
like,
it definitely
if Ray
does
was
not seem like a
sleeping...
burglary.
No. And
Yeah.
like Ray was sleeping. So I mean maybe strangling was like the like quote unquote like better option since he was asleep and like a little kid,
Yeah.
but I don't I don't know. It just seems like all the other murders were so vicious like with the stabbings that it
Yeah.
feels weird.
And
Yeah, maybe there
strangulation
were
is
like
also like a very personal, violent manner of death, but it's just interesting that there's only one
mhm.
difference, and it's not like he took
Yeah.
the knife later on, so he couldn't have stabbed before.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like usually with murders like strangling is a very specific MO.
Yeah.
Same with stabbing.
So the
So
overlap is
I don't know.
interesting. Yeah.
Is interesting. Yeah.
Okay. The next theory is that this was a personal attack against the family. So one postulated theory is that the attacks were targeted to hit Mikio or the entire family. This would have made sense for how vicious the attacks were. There was a lot of overkill, which is very personal. Plus, the killer stayed in the house as if like he wanted to assert some like ownership, some sort of dominance, which we kind of talked about earlier. Like, he ate their food that they paid for. He hung out in their house, changed into clothes. Took a shit in their toilet. Like, he like wanted to like have some sort of like this. I'm walking all over your space. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's also
Which
I'm leaving so much physical evidence
yeah.
that it's like, you know what
Which
I
just
mean?
seems,
It
this all
feels
seems like
very
very personal. Like I'm like marking my territory.
Mhm.
I've conquered your house. Like,
Mhm.
um, people think that the attack could have been a work-related hit against Mikio. Like for example, um, he could have had issues going on at work or been arguing with coworkers or something, and then they decided to like take it out on his whole family. Um, this is like possible, I guess, but it just doesn't really seem that likely because like he worked in
Mhm.
corporate advertising. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily think that's a very like high stakes nor like violent environment. I mean, like not to say it
No.
couldn't be like all work environments. I could understand how like they're high stakes, but it's not life or death over there. Like I just feel like it would be like you'd have to have a lot of anger to do like kill a whole family.
Yeah.
Like not just like, oh, I kind of like my coworker at my advertising firm pissed me off. Like
And it's also like so violent and vicious. Like I could even see this being more of a possibility if they were all shot or like something like that. You know what I mean? That's like less personal.
yeah, I
But this is
agree. It's so
so
personal.
yeah.
Um, so the more plausible version of this theory, at least to me, seems to be the skateboarder theory. So directly next door to the Miyazawa house was a skate park, and it was in that bigger park, but like the skate park section was directly next to their house. And the week prior to the murders, Mikio had gone over to complain about the noise coming from the skate park. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of skate park, they're really fucking loud.
Yeah.
Like my neighbors growing up used to like, obviously I didn't live next to a skate park, but they had a bunch of skateboarding stuff and like the ramps and whatever. It was like hella loud, like you could hear it all the time.
I like how you said
Anyway,
obviously as if anybody would know other than me. Obviously I didn't
I
live
said
next to a skate
obviously
park.
what? Oh,
You said
obviously I
you
did.
were like,
I was saying
obviously
no,
I didn't live next to a skate park.
no, I meant to like I was just my neighbors basically operated their own skate park for like a couple years. Like it was not a public skate park, but I
Yeah.
understand the noise on a real level.
Mhm.
Anyway, Mikio had gone over to complain about the noise, and he had reportedly gotten into a scuffle with some of the skateboarders there. So that could be like a possible motive. Also, like we talked about, like the profile kind of matches somebody that was a skateboarder. Like we talked about the cologne, which was
Mhm.
like known on like to be in the skateboarder scene. The person was suspected to be like in their late teens, early 20s, which is like the age of a typical skateboarder. Unless, you're my neighbor that was operating his own skate park. He was like 50.
Yes.
But um yeah, like the typical age, the cologne, like even just like the outfit,
Mhm.
like it all kind of points to this profile that could be a skateboarder. Police investigated
Yeah.
several skateboarders in the area. Like you said, they got a lot of fingerprints from people and DNA, and they talked to a lot of people. But they determined that all the skateboarders that they spoke to were not suspects. But, again, this doesn't mean that they necessarily investigated all of them. Like, this, if a skateboarder did this, they could have very well just, like, disappeared and left town. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also, like, it seems like he probably wasn't local, so...
Yeah, exactly. He could have been, like,
Yeah.
a transient skateboarder.
Traveling skateboarder. Because I do feel like, honestly, this whole crime yells at me like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which I could see how, like, someone could have, anger, but, like, I still don't even think, like, just what I was saying with the last thing, is, like, I don't think that these are enough things to, like, cause enough anger, like,
no,
to kill a whole family. Like, you know what I mean?
No.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
anger. Like, yeah, okay, the dad complained about the noise. Even if you were some, like, very, like, deranged, crazy person, I could, like, you got so angry you killed him. But his whole family breaking into the house at night?
His children?
Staying in the house? Like...
It just seems like that's so...
I mean, it's possible, I guess. It just seems like a very, like, extreme reaction.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to get on to a theory. If you guys have listened to the pod for a while, you know that for me, like, my two top theories to talk about are hitmen and aliens. So, I was quite... Excited is not a good word. I feel like...
Intrigued?
Not excited. I was intrigued that there was a hitman theory for this case. So, the hired hitman theory. There is some belief by policemen and other people who have looked at the case that the killer could possibly be a hired hitman. The DNA evidence pointing to the killer being international is a big reason. So, like, he's not from Japan. Plus, all the conflicting and seemingly really calculated details of the killer's clothing and belongings being, like, international, like, they're all kind of red herrings. Like, the shoes being Korean. Same with the shirt being so specific, but also, like, they can't track down the person who bought it. The cologne, which wasn't popular really in Japan at the time. And the sand in the belt bag, which either points to this, like, this whatever skateboarding place or to the United States.
Yeah.
Just all super interesting. And, like, I don't know. I just think that's all really fascinating. And also the fact that there's so much DNA evidence, but none of it is a match to, like, anything in the system. Like, this person either has never committed a crime before, or they have never gotten caught for any of the crimes. And that's why they're not in the system in Japan. Or, like, internationally.
Is there?
Which is fascinating.
I don't think we have an international system yet.
Yeah. Because
I mean, even like as of today, I think we just have national databases, not international databases.
But I would think that if they know that this guy has international ties, wouldn't they be able to, like, is there some way to check that? I have no idea.
I mean, honestly, I think about, like, before CODIS in the US, like, even states didn't have access to, like, suspects across states. Like, imagine how, like, on an international scale, like, I doubt that there's,
it's probably
like...
messy.
Yeah.
And also, like, chain of, like, evidence and stuff, like, it would make sense that they can't really do much. But anyways, so the book, The Setagaya Family Murder Case, 15 Years On, The New Facts, was written by Fumiya Ichihashi, and he's, like, into a lot of, like, crime research, and he kind of, like, played a huge role in this theory. So, the author claims that he got information from a South Korean man who said that the family was murdered by a South Korean hitman called R in the book. Ichihashi claims that he made contact with R, who was a former member of the South Korean military. He also claims that he got fingerprints from R, which matched those at the crime scene. So, I have some thoughts about this. Honestly, I feel like the
How is this crime researcher getting this evidence that the police can't get?
I don't know. That's what I'm, like, how is he getting this information? He's finding this person who did it, who supposedly did it.
Yeah.
And the police haven't, like, followed up on this or, like, researched it more or gotten this person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like maybe he's making these claims and like I don't know. Like the police haven't like outwardly disproved this theory or the things that this guy has talked about, but
What year did this
I
book
don't
come out?
know. I think like maybe 2015, that sounds
Yeah.
right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
because it's 15
it's been
years now.
11 years and the police haven't like tried to
Find
follow
that
this
out. I
information
don't
for
know.
themselves, even if it was some sort of big surprise to them. Like that just seems a little sketch to me.
Because this, yeah, and this is still like a very ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I honestly feel like the idea of a hitman committing these murders makes some sense. I mean,
Oh,
there's
I
so much
actually
forensic
agree.
evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much evidence at the scene, which leads nowhere. The clothing and personal items all being confusing. The fact that the killer is clearly calculated and like intentional about the murders. Um, and almost had like it seems like there was almost like a sense of enjoyment in the killings themselves. Like they're all super vicious and like personal. And also I feel like a stabbing like stabbings and strangulations are very like advanced killing tactics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like to take on an entire family is just yeah.
I also, it
Um
almost, what he did in the house afterwards almost seems like he was like checking a list of like things like,
mhm.
to do at like, to kind of like prove
Yeah.
your point after he kills.
Like
Like almost he was like giving instructions. Like you should stay at the house and do this and this and this. And
yes. Like messing up the timeline by staying in the house, taking a shit in the toilet like some killers
yeah.
do. Taking some money so they think it could be burglary, eating their food, leaving forensic evidence. Like all these things seem like someone intentionally confusing the investigation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it seems like this guy's just like really smug and like kind of a cocky killer.
Yeah.
Um, like viciously murdering an entire family and then sticking around for 2 to 10 hours afterwards, like being amongst the bodies that you had no, like you didn't clean them up or anything. Like it just feels very bizarre to me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, I saw a little bit of like sources just kind of talking about a theory that like possibly if it was a hit, they could have been hired by like the park or the construction company that wanted to expand the park, because the reason that the family was
Hmm.
like one of the last in the neighborhood was because all of their other neighbors had basically been bought out for this park expansion. Like they had been paid to leave, and
Mm.
the Miwazawas, they had refused payment to like leave their home.
Okay.
So I have seen people speculate that maybe like there was a hit sent in to like basically be like, we're taking over your house, and that would, which would, is suggested by the like staying in the house for so long. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is my place now. But then it's like there are like other
Yeah.
people living in the houses. Like they weren't the only family just because they were a few. Why that? You know what I mean?
And that just still seems so extreme.
Yeah. Also, like really, we're
Like
saying like park management's doing hits. Like I don't.
there's no way. But I think, like, yeah, that doesn't really make sense to me. We also, we'll never know the full story. Like, you never know what people could be involved in other than their day jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, we'll never know the full story or the history of like, their parents or, like, the family. And then it's also just, like, where am I going with this? I had a good thought and now I can't remember it. Um, Another thing you have to remember is that like police in cities are ran by like the government. So cover-ups and shit happen. Like
Mm-hmm.
the fact that there's so much evidence here, so much DNA evidence, so much evidence like period that would connect someone to this crime scene and there still has been never even like people of interest really brought forward.
Yeah.
Nobody arrested in this case. And like you're having over like 300,000 investigators on this case and you can't make any headway whatsoever.
I know.
Like
I
it just
just started
feels
thinking about this. Like, I wonder if they ever looked into any of the students of Yasuko, because if she was tutoring, people for like SATs type thing, like she could very well have been tutoring like late teens. Like,
yeah.
Did somebody like have some sort of personal vendetta against her? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if that was ever an angle, because I didn't see that come up at all anywhere. Like the idea that it could have been like a student.
Either. And I mean,
like
it is entirely possible that there was a skateboarder or like someone who went to that skate park who just was a little bit like had like psychopathic, sociopathic tendencies or something, and like just took it too far. You know what I mean? Like anything is possible, and people do be fucked up. Like sometimes people do stuff for no reason.
Yeah.
It's just that like it genuinely like maybe there wasn't even a motive here.
I know.
We just don't know.
Which is honestly scarier. But to me, it's like if there's no motive, how has this not happened like again, like this exact thing? And then you know what I mean? This seems to be a pattern killer. Like I'm surprised that this person has not committed a crime again.
It's almost like someone who wants to be caught.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, yeah, I don't know. And maybe there were other killings in other countries and there just hasn't been a connection made.
Yeah, it's possible.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
But
this is so puzzling.
Yeah. To this day, this case remains unsolved. Make sure to tune in next month for another new episode, and in the meantime, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at tgic.podcast. Bye!
Bye!
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
I'm not giving up.
I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay.
No, stop!
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.